Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Alright guys, today we are going to be going over the latest episode of Snowfall Season 5, episode number 3 called Lions, alright? But before I get into this episode, I'm going to quickly go over some key points that happened in episode number 2 since I didn't do a recap for that episode, alright? So in episode number 2, we saw how eager Teddy was to pretty much be reinstated into his old position, okay? Only problem is that he's still not CIA, right? And he wants to go by his real name now and not Reed, okay? We also see that he was jealous of Grady and told the superior that Grady was taking money for himself. So this allowed the superior to let Teddy back in and remove Grady. But Grady wasn't trying to go that easily, okay? So Teddy came back and killed him. From this episode, you can get the sense that Teddy has turned straight villain on us, and I don't like him at all, okay? In this episode, we also see Veronique making her plans on her little calendar, and if you watched my theory video I made about Veronique last week, you know that I don't trust her, okay? So go ahead and check out that video for more details if you haven't already, okay? Now, I want to bring up Louis' star moment when she tells Uncle Jerome that he is a king among men. She lets him know that she appreciates him sticking it out with her in this drug game because she knows it's something he never wanted, all right? This conversation took place after their business with Avi, who compared them to Bonnie and Clyde. To some people, this was a foreshadowing that things will not end well for Louis and Jerome, all right? Since it didn't end well for Bonnie and Clyde, okay? Lastly, Reed shows up to Franklin's home unannounced and tells Franklin that Grady is out and he's back in. Franklin asks Reed if he could honor Grady's deal to keep the coke to 9 per key, but Reed says, let's keep it at 10 a key for now, then tells Franklin to call him Teddy. So the fact that Teddy couldn't even honor the new price just shows us that he's on jerk mode, you know? And for me, I really couldn't figure out what all the hostility is about, and I still can't, okay? Anyway, let's go on into episode number 3, guys. Episode number 3 called Lions, okay? In this episode, Franklin lets his crew know that Grady is out and Teddy is back in. He tells them that it's most likely that Teddy killed Grady, but he doesn't see the reason he would have to, right? And Leon, who, in my opinion, be dropping that wisdom sometimes, okay? He tells Franklin that Teddy's reason for killing Grady was because he saw how Franklin and Grady was acting like Bert and Ernie in these streets, okay? And Teddy was hating and he wanted to send a message. So anyway, Franklin also tells the crew that Teddy is not going to honor the price cut, but Louis is like, I made promises, so let me talk to Teddy, all right? And Louis says this because she figures that she can get through to Teddy since she worked with him before. But Franklin was like, y'all keep doing what you're doing and I'll go talk to Teddy. And right now is not the time to be telling him that business is falling off. Next, after having a meetup with Scully's crew, Louis and Jerome get a call from Mello, one of Scully's guys. He tells Louis that Scully wants to meet them now because he is not happy that Louis and Jerome didn't come through with the price cut as promised. So they could also hear Scully in the background quoting scripture and all that, okay? Plus, it's his daughter Tiana's birthday tomorrow, so his mood is pretty bad, okay? It's so bad that when Louis and Jerome get to Scully's apartment, he got braids on his knees, okay? And he chops off his freaking ear, okay? Then Scully's crazy behind tells Braids to calm down and listen carefully next time. Anyway, when Scully asks Louis and Jerome what happened to their loyalty and honor, Louis calmly lets him know that they didn't lie, all right, and they are still honoring the agreement. They were told one thing, then they were told another. So Scully tells them that it has to be 10 a key like they said because they owe him. So Jerome was like, we can't do that, but Scully says, yeah, I got to, all right? So then Louis says, okay, we'll do it. Now, by agreeing to this, Louis and Jerome are making no money, okay? But they understand that they are in business with a madman. So when they get outside, they come up with the plan to use Mello to take Scully out because they both peeped how Mello is a power-hungry dude. So next, they go meet up with the two girls who shot Louis, and they tell the girls that They'll stop bringing up the past if they help them out with their plan. Then one of the girls apologizes to Louis for shooting her. She tells Louis that she's glad she survived. Next, Franklin goes to talk to Teddy about the price cut. But Teddy tells Franklin that the problem is not the price cut, and he can't understand why he would make himself a middleman inside his own organization. Teddy goes on to tell Franklin his prices are right at market level, and that the real problem lies with what Louis and Jerome are paying Franklin. But anyway, Franklin gets down to the real reason why he called Teddy. He wanted to know what happened to his father. So Teddy swears up and down that he had nothing to do with Alton's disappearance, but reminds Franklin that Alton got involved with the CIA, and because of that, anything could have happened to him. And of course, Teddy is lying through his teeth, okay? Next, Franklin meets up with Oso for the drop, and Franklin starts asking Oso questions about Teddy coming back and Grady's disappearance. And just when Franklin started getting into how it doesn't make sense for Grady to just up and disappear, he stops himself from going further when he realizes the surrounding buildings. He figured just that quick that Teddy was somewhere in those buildings, lurking and listening, all right? And he was right too. Only thing is, when Franklin realized that Teddy could be somewhere listening, he switched up his tune and he started talking good about Teddy, right? So my thing is, did Teddy buy that, or was he on to the fact that Franklin was on to him? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, next. After Puff the Magic Dragon worked her magic on Mello, Mello calls a meeting with Louis and Jerome to tell them that Scully plans to kill them at their next meeting. But instead of letting that go down, he comes up with a plan of his own to take Scully out, and he tells Louis and Jerome that they gotta do it. So Louis and Jerome accept the job, and they want 100K for it. Mello tells them that they can find Scully at a psychic's house the next day. So Louis and Jerome get to the psychic's house before Scully does, and Louis pays the lady a lot of money to get into the door. Scully comes, and y'all already know that Scully got them spidey senses, okay? So he's looking like he knows something is off, all right? But the psychic lady tells him to come in after he was like, we good, So when he gets inside, Louis and Jerome meet him with their guns raised, and they tell him what Mello said about the plan to stick them up at the next drop. And I was like, I know they are not about to take my guy Scully out, okay? But anyway, later on, they meet up with Mello and they tell him that the job is done, okay? And Mello wants proof. So Louis throws Scully's chain at him. So Mello is now convinced, and he tells them that it's going to take him a few weeks to claim the throne, because he got to play the part. And that's when Scully comes out from behind the sliding doors. And Mello starts copping the plea, okay? Saying that Louis came to him with the whole plan, and Scully was not trying to hear that, okay? He hooked off on him and then turned Mello around and snapped that neck, okay? Talking about some rest your spirit. Then he told his boys to handle Mello's crew, okay? So after all that, it seemed that Scully and Jerome came to a respectful agreement. Scully even gives his chain to Jerome and tells him to keep it as a reminder that they're all their own persons and ain't nobody controlling them. All right. Now, when he leaves, he tells Louis and Jerome that they're going back to the original prices and that they can keep the money that Mello was going to pay them. Next, Wanda comes to Franklin and she asks him for a job. She tells him she can even do handiwork. So Franklin says, all right, but we don't know exactly what job that he'll have for her because he still got to think about it, all right? But Wanda says, okay, take your time, but don't take too much daggone time because I'm broke out here in these streets, okay? Next, we get to the last scene where Louis continues to press Franklin about the arrangement with Teddy. Louis tells Franklin that she wants to know what Teddy said. So Franklin tells Louis that Teddy said the prices ain't the problem, it's y'all two breaking away from me and going out on your own. Franklin tells Louis that he agrees with Teddy this time, and he thinks they should come home and have the business under one roof. He tells Louis and Jerome that he'll be happy to split the profits with them 50-50. So Louis says, no, we ain't doing that because I don't want to put our lives at risk for your BS decisions. So there was some more back and forth, and Franklin also understood that breaking away wasn't Jerome's idea, it was Louis's. So Franklin wanted to know exactly what the heck Louis wants. what do you want, Queen Louis? Because nothing seems to ever make you happy, right? And so she tells him that she doesn't want to be under nobody's thumb. But Franklin tells Louis that he's sorry to break it to her because everybody's got to answer to someone. And unfortunately for him, he has to answer to the man who may have made his father disappear. And he'll do the same thing to any of them if they don't move this product, okay? So Franklin goes on to say that he's trying to stay alive long enough to enjoy what he's worked for, and he don't want to hear nothing else about no kilos and prices anymore. Okay, you want to go out on your own, fine, but don't mess around with what I got going on, because I promise you there is nothing I'm not prepared to do. All right. So Franklin leaves after that, and Louis looks over at Jerome and he gives her a look like, see, this is what you wanted, you know? But that was how the episode ended, guys. We shall see what comes of all of this conversation and everything. I mean, I am really afraid that Louis will possibly turn on Franklin, okay? That's one of the things that I've been afraid of since this season started, all right? That's it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.